Imagine trying to mix orange juice with coffee. Not the best combo, right? Well, JavaScript sometimes runs into the same kind of problem when you're working with different types of values, like numbers and text. That's where type conversion comes in. It's like JavaScript's way of saying, wait, let me fix that for you. Hey friends, welcome back to Elite Tech Club, your chill place to learn JavaScript the smart way. Today, we are diving into something that confuses a lot of beginners at first, but once you get it, it's like flipping a switch. What is type conversion? In JavaScript, type conversion is when a value changes from one type to another, like turning a number into a string or a string into a Boolean. And good news, JavaScript does this in two ways. One, automatic conversion, means JavaScript does it on its own. And two, manual conversion, means you do it on purpose. Okay, quick example. Let's say we have this const result, and then on the right hand side of the assignment, we have 5 as a string plus 3. On the next line, we have console.log and result. I'll save it and then run our code. Here I'll right click and then click on inspect and go to the console tab. Here you see that we get 53. Wait, what? A string and a number gave us another string? That's because JavaScript automatically converts number 3 into a string 3. That's also called type coercion, when JavaScript does it for you. JavaScript can be sneaky. Sometimes it decides, hey, I know what you meant, and does the magic behind the scenes. Here are a few examples. I'll add more variables here. Before that, I'll rename result to A because I also want to have B, C, and D. So here, again, 5 as a string, but this time minus 3. Then we have C. We have true plus 1. So you also have a Boolean here. And then last but not least, D equals false plus 1. But 1 here is a string. Then let's also print those variables. So here we have A, then B, C, finally D. Okay, I'll save the file, and here you see the result. So for the first one, as you saw, we have 5 as a string, then JavaScript converts 3 to the string 3 behind the scenes and does concatenation. So we have 53, but this 53 is not a number, this is a string. For the next one, since this minus doesn't have a meaning for a string, so behind the scenes it converts 5 to the number 5, and then 5 minus 3 will be 2. In the next one, we have true plus 1. No string here, but we have a number. So JavaScript tries to convert the Boolean value true to a number. So it converts it to 1. Basically, true is 1 and false is 0 if we want to convert them to numbers. Then we have 1 plus 1, which is 2. And then for D, we have false plus 1, but 1 is wrapped in code, so it's a string. Then, as you saw in the first variable, we have a string, so JavaScript tries to convert the other operand, so false into a string, and then concatenate those two. So we have this string false plus 1, so concatenates them, and then we see false 1. Yep, It's weird. It tries to help, but sometimes it confuses the heck out of us. We'll dig deeper into truthy and falsy values in a later video, so hit that bell so you don't miss it. You don't have to let JavaScript be the boss. You can tell what type to use. We have three main built-in tools for explicit type conversion. Let's start with converting into a string. You want to turn something into plain text? Use the string tool. Here, I'll remove these lines and then I'll add a comment, string. This is a built-in tool in JavaScript. So here I'll declare a variable text1, and then I'll use this built-in tool, and then with parentheses. So here I'll add a number 123 in the next line, console.log, the variable text1, and then also I want to check the type. So using the type of operator, we can do it. So I'll save the file. Here you see that we have 1, 2, 3, but this is a string. This is not a number. Similarly, we can convert a Boolean into a string. So another constant, text2, string, then we can have true here, and then I'll print text2 and check the type as well, type of text2. I'll save it, and here you see it's also a string. For converting into string, we also have another way. So I'll add the third variable text3, and here I'll type in a number 456 wrapped in parentheses, and then I'll press dot and then call the toString method. As mentioned, we will dive deeper into functions in a later video. For now, just consider them as some special tools that we use. And on the next line, if I print text3 and then also the type of text3, you see that this is now a string. 4, 5, 6 as a string. Now let's turn values into a number. Here I'll comment out these lines, and then let's check out the number built-in tool. Here I'll declare a few variables, num1, then using this built-in tool, I'll try to convert a string, 42 for example, to a number. Then let's also try to convert a Boolean into a number. So we can have true. And finally, another string, maybe hello. And then also let's print these variables. So console.log num1 to num3. Here, I'll save the file, and you see that for the first one, num1, JavaScript could convert 42 as a text into 42 as a number. Then for the Boolean value, for true, we got 1. Again, JavaScript did the conversion for us. For the last one, it really couldn't convert hello to a number. So we got NaN, or not a number, for hello. Basically, JavaScript tries to do conversion. If it makes sense, we will get that. If it doesn't, we will simply get not a number or NaN. Besides number, we also have two other tools for converting into a number. So here, I'll add another variable, num4. So the first one is parse int. As the name implies, it converts a string into an integer. So if we have, for example, 65, then we try to print this variable num4 and also check for the type num4. You see that here we get 65 and then the type is number. Another one is parse float. Num5, we have parse float. The difference between parse int and parse float is that parse int ignores decimal places if it exists, and parse float will keep them. So here we have 65.78. Then also try to print this. So num5 and then type of num5. Here you see that we get the whole number including decimal places and then the type of, which will yield number. But for the previous one, for parse int, if I add decimal places, you see that the result still stays the same because it ignores decimal places. So parse int and parse float are also two additional tools for type conversion. They are super useful when we are getting user input from a form and it's all strings. Now here is the truth machine. Boolean turns things into true or false. Here I'll comment out these lines and then our next tool, Boolean. Here I'll declare some variables, bool1, and then I'll use this tool first. Let's check 0, then we can have 2. Next, tool 3 for a string this time, I, and then for an empty string. In the next line, we print these values. So from bool1 to bool4. I'll save the file and here you see the result. So it turns 0 into false, then it turns 1 into true. For a string like hi or any string other than empty string, we get true, and for empty string we get false. Also for numbers other than 0 we get true, so even if we have negative numbers, I'll turn 1 into -1. I'll save the file, again you see that we get true, but for 0 we always get false. Simply put, if there's something there, it's true. If it's empty, it's false. Why does this matter? Well, later on, when we build conditions and check if something is valid or empty, Boolean conversion will be super useful. Okay, time for a tiny challenge. What do you think these will return? Put your answers in the comment and let's see who gets them all. Type conversion is powerful, but it can lead to bugs if you're not careful. Best practice? Be explicit when possible. Use string, number, and Boolean so your code is easier to read and debug. Type conversion may sound fancy, but once you play around with it, it starts to feel natural. It's one of the things that makes JavaScript both powerful and, to be honest, a little weird sometimes. If this helped clear things up, hit that like button, it really supports the channel. And if you're loving these beginner-friendly breakdowns, make sure to subscribe to Elite Tech Club so you don't miss what's next. Keep coding, stay awesome, and see you in the next one.